So it is 7 p.m. We'll call the meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of council. The Municipality of Swan Valley West held in council chambers at 216 Main Street, Swan River, Manitoba, this 10th day of December 2024 at 7 p.m. Present this evening, myself, Reeve, Bill Gade, councillors Brian Burick, Carrie, Blosha, Byron, Zbirun, Terry, Neely, RJ McGregor, and because he was away last week, Brad Kushniryk. We thought we'd put you on the bottom. Our CAO, Kristi, Ronnquist is here. Videographer Jeremy Berg is here. We have some guests in the gallery this evening as well. We'll come into the meeting at number 2, adopting the agenda. Be it resolved, the agenda for the regular meeting of council held this 10th day of December 2024 shall be adopted as presented. Is there someone that wishes to move the resolution? Councillor Burick, and I see Councillor McGregor in the corner of my eye there. Any additions or changes to the agenda tonight? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favour? That is carried. Number 3, the minutes. Be it resolved, the minutes of the regular council meeting held December 3rd, 2024 be adopted as presented. Is there a mover? Councillor Neely, and I see Councillor Blosha. Copy of the minutes is attached to the meeting agenda. Has everybody had a chance to review it? Does anyone need more time? Any errors or omissions in the minutes that were found? Hearing nothing, we'll call the question. Those in favour? That too is carried. Number 4, Public Works Report. I do have a Public Works Report, so let's dig it out. So lead hand reports. Graders are ridging as weather permitting. I know they're doing quite a bit of that today. Catching up maintenance on the highway trucks and trailers. Graders have been breaking down. Chris's valve bank is leaking. It's getting rebuilt on warranty. It was preventing his wing from extending correctly. They removed it earlier this week, yesterday. It's supposed to be back later this week, if not, I think tomorrow. Getting put back in after the rebuild, so that's a warranty thing. Ralph's grader has an EGR cooler leaking, was replaced, but still has a leak. The Deer mechanic will come back and redo the cooler. We ordered another 20 yards of road sand, as the sander's doing a great job, but because of that we're using a lot of sand. Moved the hose south by Dave Adams to start scrubbing in Ralph's area. Public Works has replaced 3 out of 6 windows in the graders and the wheel hoe. Those are the ones that are cracked, so they've been trying to do some of the work themselves, and then some of it they get finished off by someone else. They've been collecting quotes for better lighting in the Swan shop. And then with regard to the gate we discussed last meeting, the gate was removed, placed on the resident's property, and flagged with some safety tape so they knew where it was. And then this morning, I think council's aware, but so it's on the record, the resident saw fit to block the public road using hay bales. So the hay bales were removed earlier this morning. We've seized the hay bales. They remain on our property right now. We're also invoicing the resident for the time and charges for the staff it took to remove the hay and the equipment that was used to open the road again. There's some of that we'll discuss in camera, but that's the part we can discuss publicly. And we gently remind everyone that public roads are not to be blocked. Questions on the Public Works Report?
You finished scrubbing on 167 north of 279 in Ward 6. Excellent job.
Good.
Did a very good job.
I'm glad Ward 6 got something.
Something, but yeah.
We're not getting any scrubbing in the south.
Yeah, it's moving south now. It was done for you all last
I'm a little upset.
month.
I think it might be in my area now.
I want my own scrubber.
Yeah, we got our own. Brian's done.
Yeah, no, he did a good job. Excellent work.
Anything else on the Public Works? Here, nothing. I see that our delegation has arrived for 5-2. Mr. Bobick has joined us. So maybe we'll go to the delegation so he can skedaddle back out of here to his other meeting. Come on up, sir. I don't know if you've ever been to this table before.
Not in this position.
So, and what position is it?
Your secret. Good evening, council.
Do you want the others to join you too?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on up.
Move my stuff out.
Yeah, no. Eddie's gonna do all the talking, just doesn't know it yet. We just wanted to meet with you and just kind of give you a quick review of the year, because you don't have somebody sitting on our main board that we should, well, since you're one of the biggest contributors, we would like to share what's happening at the watershed. So here we are. Just about the only thing that I have to report is MA Association, Manitoba Associations of Watershed, just to point out, with all the federal programs going on, their budget 4 years ago was 1.8. In 4 years now, their budget is $27 million. So all those federal programs are coming through, like there's a GROW program, there's lots of programs. We're involved in cover crop seeding, and the valley is really gaining from it. So with that, I'll let Eddie give you some numbers there. And sorry, Linnea's here with her too. This is the heart and the lung of the business.
And then the spokesperson.
That's right,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to allow us to come here today to kind of share some stuff about the Swan Lake Watershed District and what we're up to essentially, and how Swan Valley West's contribution in terms of levies every single year has been a tremendous help in terms of gaining more funding, whether it's provincial or federal, to push some of our projects forward. So kind of just a really quick breakdown. The Watershed District is a municipally based nonprofit organization. So we're not really in the business of making money. We're essentially bringing the money in and trying to push as many projects as we possibly can with all the funding that we are allowed to receive and apply for grants based provincially and or federally. So with that being said, with the municipal levies that we do get from the contributions or the partnerships, I guess you can think of it as, across Swan Valley. So we have 4 municipalities that take part in the Watershed District. And so Swan Valley West is the #1 contributor. So each year the municipality gives us about $38,000 in core funding. And so that allows us to lobby other organizations for us to apply for grant funding, provincially and federally. And so we basically take those dollars and we stretch it across all of the projects that we do. And so just to kind of give you an example, in the last 5 years, we have spent about $2 million, give or take, and the municipality has contributed about $150,000. So whatever, for like a little less than 40,000 times, yeah, so it's like 200,000. So essentially if the watershed spent $100, the municipality only had to put forward $9.50, plus or minus. And then all the other dollars come from all of the external grant funding that we do apply for, and apply it to all the private producers that come into our office to ask for projects, things like that. So we deal mostly with erosion control, soil health, and water quality improvements essentially on private property. So outside of the municipality's jurisdiction is kind of where we operate, more or less. Does anybody have questions so far? Okay, so every single year, the Swan Lake Watershed District sends out a letter to the municipality, which I have here, in asking the municipality to appoint 3 councillors and 3 ratepayers to our sub-district board. And the reason for that is because the municipality of Swan Valley West exists in 3 of our sub-districts. So we don't operate off of municipal boundaries, we operate off of watershed boundaries. So they're a lot more fluid. That being said, the reason why we have 3 councillors and 3 ratepayers is because it keeps it even. It keeps it fair so that there's representation from the municipality and there's representation as a ratepayer in that municipality. Whether they get elected each year to the main board, similar how you guys are, that's between the sub-districts of all the members in each of the 4 that we have. So the municipality elects, so Swan Valley West elects 3 municipality councillors and then ratepayers as well. So the ratepayer cannot be a councillor just because of conflict of interest. Does that kind of make sense?
Board member.
Yeah, so they sit on our sub-districts. So in total, out of all 4 municipalities put together, we have a collective group of 20 people that sit on 4 separate sub-districts essentially. And then out of those 20 people, each one of those sub-district elects a chair and a vice chair, and that chair becomes a representative on our main board. And then from there, depending on what the structure of that board looks like, it may or may not have Swan Valley West representatives or another municipality. Sometimes it just so happens to be that way. So, with that being said, every single year we usually send out a letter in December asking, hey, these are, you know, your current appointments to our sub-district board, and if you would like to make changes to it, or you can elect the same ones. It really doesn't matter, just as long as we kind of have that representation from council and from the ratepayers. So it's technically the municipality's responsibility to contact a ratepayer for, say, that isn't at this table and ask if they would like to be a part of, you know, other committees outside of, you know, council, if that makes sense. Yeah. Does anybody have questions? All we would like to say is we appreciate your contributions, mostly the money part, but yes, to allow us to further, to stretch that dollar and help everybody in our watershed, right? Because we go, we're like, we cover like 4,500 square kilometers of land, right? Based on private producer land. So we go all the way past, you know, Mafeking, all the way up to Red Deer River, all the way down south past Benito up to the Ducks, over to the Saskatchewan border, and then out to the Brig Spur corner, essentially, is kind of where our land base is. So there's definitely a lot of people looking for funding depending on, you know, where they exist. And because Swan Valley is a very topographically challenged region, we do have a lot of erosion issues, right? And so each project that we do or complete with a producer, you know, can be a couple, you know, $10,000, $20,000 project that, you know, as a partnership with the municipality, if you look at a project, the municipality contributes, you know, $38,000 a year, you could easily spend that on 2 projects and you're done, right? And we do a bunch more than 2. So it's just, you know, the way that everything works and everything gets put together, those partnerships mean a huge effort to our efforts in receiving, you know, a lot of that grant funding and to lobby more funding to be put towards our budgets every single year.
Hello, Ed.
Hi.
When you do for private landowners and
Yep.
you do work, what's the split, 60-40?
Yeah,
And,
so
the watershed pays 40%?
60.
60,
Yeah,
okay. I
yeah.
can never keep that straight.
Yeah, most of the projects that we do are 60-40, and then depending on the type of grant funding that we apply for, sometimes it allows us to go up to 85%. So a lot of the federal funding right now that we have currently, specifically for like cover cropping projects, livestock projects, those are covered at 85% of funding. So because of how those external funds are structured, it allows us to give them back more money essentially.
Sort of earmarked for those kinds of projects.
Yeah, yeah. So is it luck? Yeah, kind of in a roundabout way. Yeah.
And one more thing,
Yeah.
has there been any meetings? Unless I'm missing my emails or something.
There was a little break in time between, I don't know, I think 4 months of the year, like in the summertime usually, because everybody's so busy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There hasn't been anything recently, right?
not recently. November maybe was the last one.
Ooh,
Yeah,
well, I missed that one.
that's okay. We usually have meetings every third Thursday of the month.
But we rotate,
Yeah,
That-
but
Yeah.
that's
But
the-
representatives.
But that's
Yeah.
the main board.
yeah, but we also invite one sub-district every time.
Oh.
So we kind of just invite them to come.
I'll have to watch my emails close.
Yeah. Hey, all good.
We put it in the mail.
Yeah, I know how much you like me, Don. Yeah.
Pretty thin. Yeah. Other than that, no, that's, we just, you know what, if any one of yous are welcome to stop in at the watershed and just go over some of these programs, because you people meet the people and it'll start a conversation. So, you know what, there's some really good programs out there, so. Cattle producers and stuff like that, there's offsite watering, there's lots of programs, you know. Eddie will more or less coach them through the environment, you need an environmental farm plan, but that's, we more or less take it
And
by
any
the hand
major
and lead you through
project
it.
on
Once
this?
you have that, that opens up a lot of doors.
Any major projects done this year on, say, the river and stuff like that?
Yeah, we've done a lot of erosion control, like stream bank stabilization type projects. I would say, just as a ballpark, we we did most of the projects in Swan Valley West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are kind of right in the middle.
Well,
Yeah, because the water comes from Saskatchewan, which is in your municipality, right? And then it swings itself over. So yeah, most of the I guess projects are in Swan Valley West, and then it kind of goes in a northeast direction.
Just one of the things I was interested in at the convention there was they talked to these rain gardens, and basically a rain garden the size of this room. It's if you got houses or buildings that are, water's coming off the roof and going onto your pavement or down your roads or flooding the neighborhood, they make these rain gardens out of rock, and it lets it soak into the soil and holds it a little bit, then it goes out. So I'm trying to push the town for certain things like cemeteries, stuff like that. You know, if you have a problem spot in something like that, a rain garden would pretty it up and solve the problem at the same time. So there's lots of stuff out there. I would tell you to stop in and just go through it. It's amazing how much stuff there is out there. So lots of funding.
Besides the project that was done on the Saskatchewan border between Swan Valley
Yep.
West and Cape, that's one.
Yep.
Can you name a few other ones that were done in Swan Valley West?
There was another one. I
Because you
probably
said
shouldn't
quite a
say.
few. You said all of them were done in Swan Valley West.
Yeah, I
Which other
probably
ones?
shouldn't say names though.
Well, which areas? I'm not saying names.
Okay, so Whitefish Road, Highway 83.
Whitefish Lake Road.
Yeah, so 2 miles over. Yeah, that's getting really specific. You guys will probably be able to figure that out pretty quick. Yeah, but it's just north, about, I don't know, 2 miles north on Whitefish Road. So 275 is it? Yeah, whatever that.
279.
279, 75 is different.
So it's
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, and then Highway 83, that's
83.
another one. Yeah, and then Durban Country, there was another one. And then the Saskatchewan border one. Yeah,
So four.
those were, yeah, so those projects were average about 20,000, 25,000, give or take. Yeah.
We've been involved with the Thunderhill Ski Club, looking at their sloughing problem there. We tried, it's kind of out of our mandate. We've been told by the province that it's whoa, but we're trying to, if we could get a free engineer, but
Yeah, we're looking
We're
at accessing the engineering side of it so that the Thunderhill doesn't have to look after that part of it. And at least if we can come up with kind of a way to resolve the issue of the actual slumping of the hill, then at least they can take that forward and, deal with that situation. Yeah.
yeah, you got anything to say?
Not a lot. I have brought a little bit of reading for everyone, so you guys have a calendar. We also have, from the Manitoba Association of Watershed, they put together a magazine called The Current. So it has an article in The Current from each one of the watershed districts, so there's 14 in the province, one from us, and kind of just what other watershed districts are doing, and then what we've kind of done in the last year. So this isn't 2024, it'll be 2023. So there's one every year, and then I brought a tube for everyone, so because you all contribute. So.
We've also been looking into doing a tour sometime. We've been looking into for a few years to do this. Hire a bus if you can find a bus, and take everybody to some of the projects and take our partners with us.
we did that one time
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah. Yeah, it's interesting till you, hands on it, makes a big difference. So we'll keep you informed.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say one more thing. It was nice when we had all four municipalities on that board.
I agree.
That's what we're
I-
here.
I agree with that too. Kind of missed that because we don't.
Yeah.
And we're the biggest contributors and the biggest base, and we're out of it.
Yeah, and so that's why before previously, because there was underrepresentation, specifically for Mountain, I'll use the municipality of Mountain for instance, because they had no representation for 8 years.
Well, they sat on the board but had no voting.
That's right, so they brought a member forward because they were like, well, we have no idea what's going on, right? And so in previous years, we've tried to remediate that by basically saying, hey, let's open it to all of the sub-districts and then we'll just rotate them as they see fit. But then now, this year, we kind of realized, well, if you rotate them, one sub-district might come, every 4 months, they'll never know what happens between the 3 months, right? And so we're looking at just opening it in general to anybody who has time or is simply interested, and then that will obviously bring a seat to the table, essentially.
Did you ever inquire, I think we did at one time, SAP? Like the reserve area there, included in the watershed, or they didn't?
Yeah, we've reached out before.
Right.
We've We've worked with them previously
They're at the tail end.
What's that,
They're
sorry?
at the tail end of the watershed.
Yeah, we've worked with them before on our integrated watershed management plan. And so creating that document that's, 50 pages long essentially with, partnerships and things like that. We have consulted on, with them before, and working with them. But, a lot of that land isn't really private, I guess. So it's a little bit difficult that way. But that's always, that's always on our docket for sure. 100%. Yeah.
Anything else, folks? No, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. And then the letter is here that I explained about the election stuff, so.
When
you
is
guys-
it due back by?
January 10th.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
It's all in the letter too.
Very good.
Have a good meeting.
appreciate it, yeah, thanks a lot, you guys.
So we do have one other delegation scheduled tonight, but I see they haven't arrived at the meeting, so we'll carry on. And if they should arrive at some point, we'll go back to that. Right. We'll move to 6.1 on the agenda, General Cheques. So some explanation here, the finance officer is away on medical at the moment, so we're not presenting General Cheques tonight. I know, you were really hoping.
My favorite part.
We need some direction from council though, we're coming up to year end obviously. There's likely to be some checks that need to happen by the end of December. What would council like to do to get those approved? Do you want to do email circulation, or do you want to look into a phone meeting, or what would work best for folks?
I would think we'll leave those in command to look
Yeah,
after.
exactly. If they gotta be paid, they gotta be paid.
Yeah.
Okay, you're fine with
You
that?
and Kristi and Lois.
It's not like we're not gonna see them out.
Not like we don't
They gotta
trust
be
you.
paid, so I don't,
Something comes up.
I don't have a problem with
If
it.
there's anything really shady, then you circulate it.
The one big one I know is
Don't
coming is
email
that
me,
there's
don't.
gonna be a crushing invoice, right? It'll be a fairly substantial check, but we know the crushing's happening, it's not a huge
Well, we know it's
surprise.
coming, it's not a surprise thing.
Yeah.
If somebody sends us a bill for 50,000 out of the blue, maybe contact us, you know.
Just see
But I
what
mean,
Yeah.
stuff that we know is coming, I mean, we basically rubber stamp it here, have a few questions, but
Okay,
That's
well,
it.
we'll bring them to the next meeting anyway, so we'll still look at it, but
Yeah.
if it needs to
yeah,
go,
and if
we'll make
there's
sure it goes
adjustments
out.
to be made, we do it at that time.
Okay. 6.2, be it resolved the council of Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments. Payroll payments number 636 to 650 in the amount of $23,815.58. Is there someone that wishes to move the resolution? I see Councillor Neely, and I also see Councillor Kushniryk. Mover and seconder, copy of those payroll amounts are attached. Does anyone have questions or discussion on those?
It's just a question.
Sure.
We used to get the whole lowdown, this is just what the net earnings are then?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want the other one? We
No,
can
no,
go right
no.
now.
I'm just-
Okay. You were always welcome to it. I think this just wasn't
Yeah,
attached. to
yeah,
the-
it's much, this is much simpler, this
Yeah.
is, you know, it just doesn't show like the hours and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
No.
I'm not worried about it, I was just making a comment, I guess, more than anything.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions, discussion? Hearing nothing, we'll call the question on the resolution. Those in favor? That's carried. 6.3, indemnities. Be resolved, the council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West hereby approves the following payments indemnities for November, number 4640 to 4648, in the amount of $11,861.93. Is there someone to move the resolution? I see Councillor Burick, and someone to second the resolution. Councillor McGregor. A copy of those indemnities are attached. Is there any questions or discussion on those? Hearing nothing, we'll call the question on the resolution. Those in favor? That's carried. 6.4, financial reports. So the budget, because the finance officer's been away, the expenses haven't been updated, but we brought this instead because it's kind of interesting. So this is the other revenue. If you guys could just, Councillor Burick, could you take the meeting for a moment?
Mine is still spinning. What are we looking at there?
Ask Kristi.
It's the other revenue, so I was asking about, we have the invoice for signs that we want to order later on that you'll see.
Yeah,
So I was asking about how do we know what's in our budget for that? And so we brought this up, which shows kind of what we budgeted and what we've used and what's left for some of these other
Income.
kind of, yeah, both income and the spending as well.
So our municipal grant fell that short,
Alright.
80-some thousand, where did it?
where did you see
They
that?
pay
The bottom line looks good.
Is it in stages?
They pay most stages.
So we're getting more
Yeah.
yet?
Yeah. So I wouldn't just say the last of us come yet. Sorry, thank you.
What are we, okay. Let's see who's won.
You were measuring up, you're out.
Yeah, you didn't.
My thing is still spinning here. Oh, it's still spinning.
I apologize. Sometimes life gets in the way of council for a minute.
Yeah, oh, that's okay.
But yeah, I believe the rest of that grant is still coming, and dust control's a little
Oh, there.
lower than we'd expected, but somewhat in the range. The sales services, most of that relates to that plow. Remember we sold the snow plow? So I just thought it was interesting to see where we're at, so you can see what's happening.
The bottom line is. very-
Don't get too used to it.
No, but I mean, it's not gonna stay like that, like they, eh?
Well, see, a lot of that's the $500,000 to the fire hall that wasn't budgeted.
Right.
So it makes us $500,000
Okay,
over right
okay.
away. Because we hadn't expected to get that. It wasn't in the original budget. But it's also, the balancing out of that is that it's just gone straight into reserve until the fire hall gets built.
So it's not that big a figure.
No. The investment income's pretty impressive though. We had budgeted for $20,000 of interest and we've actually
Yeah.
received 77.
I see that,
So
yeah.
that won't last either. It's gonna start going down, but
Well, we're pretty close. What are them signs that you're saying, $6,000 or something? So what you're asking is if, where we're gonna get the money for them, is that what you're?
Well, I hadn't looked at that, and so I had asked that question, and so it brought us to pulling this up.
any other questions on that?
And the bottom line is we're in relatively good shape.
We are, the budget report, we don't have, we had it on the last meeting last week. The budget report, we're ahead by a piece. Mostly relating to fuel that we didn't spend, because fuel prices were lower with the tax being removed. There's going to be an underspend in gravel crushing, because we're having trouble getting the crushing done in this year. So that's gonna have to move forward to next year, because we're still gonna spend the money, but it's gonna move forward. The signs we had budgeted for, the emergency signs, are still not done. So the sign budget's actually in really good shape right now, because it had the money set aside for those signs. It didn't happen.
The road signs.
Yeah, so. But yeah, it's not bad. There's some things we're over on in the main budget, but overall, it's pretty good. We're certainly not over budget overall. There's a few categories we're over budget on, but there's a lot we're under budget on.
That's typically happens.
Yeah. And that Ward 6 category is pretty high, but
Maintenance
Yeah,
up there.
they're
something
high.
Nice to see for a change.
all right, let's move to 7-1, see how you're in the mood to spend some money. So I believe the fourth bridge inspection report, the second one that says number 1, that's actually a statement of reserve fund assets. So the question was asked last time what we have in bridge replacement reserve. We have $277,869.12 currently in reserve for bridge replacement. So it does not buy you a new bridge, but may buy you something. Last week we spoke to everybody about putting your thinking caps on and thinking what we might want to do about bridges. We have options for that Brown Bridge to do some repair work on it, estimated from $150,000 to $170,000. Also some options for the low-level crossing, we would call that the golf course crossing, for a new bridge between $2 and $2.5 million, give or take. There's also some engineering reports that could be done there, $35,000 to $40,000 to know what bridge could be built. If we're going down that path, we could do engineering. So we'll open it up tonight and get some opinions from folks on what you think we should do, if anything, or if burying our head in the sand and ignoring the problem is more to our liking. Councillor McGregor, you're up.
Well, we talked about it last meeting about reaching out to see what kind of funding and stuff is available here. Have we heard anything?
So there's no funding available today. If we were looking at funding for repairing the Brown Bridge, we could probably apply for something next year. If you're looking at funding for building a new bridge at the golf course, we'd likely need to have those reports in our hand.
So you can get your reports first before you, well, I think you better get on that then because
And the other option, like there's still that option of trying to fix that thing. That's kind of what we were talking about last time, is does it make sense to try to fix that thing, right?
it's pretty rough.
Councillor Neely, what say you?
Well, I think we should do those engineering reports because it's gonna happen sooner or later. You said the last meeting, we can't rebuild that low-level crossing. We can repair it, and how many times can we repair it? The engineering costs have to be, engineering has to be done at some point in time. It'll have to even be done if we apply for grants, right? So we know what we're up against. So on that, I would say there, that's something we should do. The Brown Bridge, no, that's I can't remember that report right now. What did he say that should be done right away, or?
It was winter work, so either this winter or next winter. They kind of lean towards this winter, but it's something that can't be done in summer. It needs to be done in the winter. At least most of it, I think. Part where they're going to work on the piles and such.
Yeah, but there's 150 to 170,000, is it?
And we'd need to tender that. Like, if we're doing that, we would have to then put out a tender and get some bids on it.
Yeah, and this guy that did this would tender on it too.
For sure.
right?
And there'd probably be 2 or 3 more that would. Then we get to pick from one of those.
I guess my question is where are we gonna get the money for it? Is there any provincial funding?
For which, the Brown Bridge?
Yeah.
Well, there is money there.
There's 277 in there.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we didn't have to spend all of our money.
No.
Well, yeah.
That's 270, not
277, so we'd have 100,000 left, but we could use that. Can we use that money to do an engineering design? Okay.
Okay.
Then we're only got 60,000 left.
party.
But if we got the bridges all in good shape, we don't need much, right?
And presumably we'll budget some more again next year for bridges, I would assume. We'll put some more money towards bridges.
Well, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, well, in that case, if, I would say maybe we should do it this winter. If we wait another year, there's no guarantee we're gonna get any kind of grant.
That's what I
for it
was
anyway.
gonna say, maybe the springtime will take care of the low level one for us. I mean, it might not be there.
No, I'm talking the Brown Bridge.
Well, yeah, that, how bad is that too? Is the water gonna damage it anymore?
It's pretty high up, really, hey? Even in high water, it's pretty, it's good that way.
The problem you have with the Huddle
It's
Crossing
just
keeps plugging.
it's just the base underneath it,
Yeah.
a little shaky. And
They leveled it out at one time, but it lifted again. They had it pretty good.
Okay, I'm done talking, that's my idea anyways.
That low level, is it gonna be there come springtime?
Depends how much water. It's, at least half of it's undermined. It depends what washes out there. If the water comes in such a way that it washes out under the bridge, it may just disappear like the other one did.
So if we were gonna fix it, we'd have to do it now.
That's not a winter project though, is it?
Well,
It would have to be
I don't think that's a
it
winter
would have to
project.
be,
covered in.
Late
I
summer.
mean, if you're gonna pour cement, it'd have to be all
Hoard
tented in, right?
it in, yeah.
their suggestion was, essentially summertime for it.
Yeah.
But you'd have to block half the river
River off, yeah, that's what.
and then do it, and then block the other half of the river. And that, it may be taken out of our hands if it collapses in the spring anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
And it may not,
Yeah.
it's sitting there pretty good right now, considering what's under it. If you go and look under it, you'd think, I don't know why we're driving across this. But we're still putting super B loads across it. and it's staying there, so.
Spring, we better put them big cement 8-foot blocks there or something that people can't get across there, because they take down the barricades and go anyway. I mean, I've been up there 2 or 3 times over the years. They just move them out of the way and go anyways. But if somebody ever went in there and went over, it's happened in the valley before, so I think it can't happen.
Councillor Burick, what do you think?
I was gonna say, which ward is the Brown Bridge in?
It's
Must
in
be
6.
Ward 6, that's what it is, Ward 6, right.
I know what
That was a trivia question. But anyways, no, I'd say we repair Brown Bridge this winter. Put out the tenders, like you say, as soon as we can, and just, we've got the money is there, and you'll have a little bit extra. But get it done and it's done. This way, if we prolong it for another year, who knows what could happen in a year.
Twice as much work, eh?
Could be, you never can tell. It might not be, but I mean, you never can tell. And about the Ford crossing, I think, go for a bridge. I don't think we should waste time putting concrete into what we have now, because it might work, it might not work, it might work for a year or 2. And then is there a fish ladder in there?
There is.
Okay, now if you put the concrete in there, you gotta work around that too. This way, do a design like you say, or study on it, see what grants, there'll be grants probably, I don't know, is it during the winter and the spring that are available for that?
We'll see what they come up with. There's always something for infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's a question of what.
So I mean, there's grants be available. I'd say go for it, do a bridge, and this way we don't worry about repairs, we don't worry about blocking it off every spring for flood, and it's done. It's permanent. It's there forever. It's there forever. Well, not forever, but I mean good for 100 years.
Funding provided, yeah.
Yeah, but this way you're putting good money into bad project that we don't know if it'll work, or how long it will work for, it's just a patch up. Like, it's done well this long, but it's eroding, and that's my feeling anyways. It's just, I'd say go for a bridge, do our planning, the steps we have to, in designing it, do the study, and then apply for our grants, and just tender it out whenever they can start working on it, build it. Because that's the main access. It's like, if that thing is closed off, where do they haul? They have to go to Swan, or where do they go out west, to White Beach? Where's the crossing there? Like,
They have to cross the Swan. I don't know if where they could cross.
and then even if they're crossing,
Not again in Manitoba.
and even if they come down Swan, they have to come down 216 and then go through, not through town, but through
You can
number
cross
10 and the
the
bypass, right?
Okay.
They could come through by Benito.
Oh. This is the only unrestricted crossing other than Highway 10. I say 83, the bypass. You know, there's the 2 bridges in Swan are not weight restricted, but otherwise every other bridge all the way back is restricted except for that crossing.
The
Yeah,
one by
Which is why it's
Benito,
getting so much use.
the one by Benito is restricted, eh? Yeah.
so that's my feeling, go for it and get it done, and it's done.
Councillor Blosha.
Yeah, I feel that we have to fix the Brown Bridge, we have to do the fix. But the low-level crossing, I don't want us to pour any more money into it. I don't think we can. We're gonna waste that money.
Well, it's gonna come to a point where we have to. 'cause
Well, we're gonna have to build a bridge no matter what, because we can't build another low-level
We can't
crossing.
build a new one, so.
No. So I don't wanna pour any more cement under it and have it wash away.
And do you want to end up with a bridge?
Well, that's what we're only thing we're gonna get. And we need one there, because like you say, where are they gonna cross? They gotta haul grain. That's
I
what,
suppose we can make.
That's what our
crossing the other one,
municipality's
but they're not gonna
about.
be very happy about it.
no. We've lost 2, 3 low-level crossings already, which can't be helped.
Just happens.
So, I mean, you need a place to cross.
Councillor Kushniryk.
Well, I think the decision's already made. I just would like to point out that for Brown Bridge being in Ward 6, 46,000 of the bridge replacement would be roughly his share, so he'll have to give up some gravel.
And some scrubbing.
Maybe a little bit of that too, yeah.
All right. So I think that's pretty good direction for staff. We will start in on tendering for the Brown Bridge. I'll have some discussions on the engineering
Yeah.
for the low level crossing and see when that should happen. I suspect the engineering might be a spring thing, but we'll see.
Yeah, let's wait till after spring thaw.
Yeah, if we're gonna put a bridge, there's no rush to it.
No.
Let's wait till after spring thaw and see what happens.
Other than we'll still have to block that off come springtime, right?
Yeah.
It's usually impassable in the spring anyways.
Well, you get
It's-
one,
Well, it's impassable, usually.
Oh, I water, mama.
I know. Yeah.
there's only one
When I
way
was
to
young and
tell, right?
stupid, I'd go pretty deep. Now,
Okay.
All right, 7.2, subdivision. Now, we've already approved the subdivision, but we didn't have the variance part in there, so it's back to do this to please the masters of municipal services. Whereas the owners of part of the south half of section 1735-27 West made applications to provide the property and a variance to allow for a non-farm subdivision over 10 acres. Whereas the Council of Municipality of Swan Valley West reviewed said application along with a letter received from Municipal Relations dated July 29th, 2024, and have no objection to the aforementioned subdivision, therefore be it resolved that we do hereby approve the subdivision and variance to allow for a non-farm subdivision over 10 acres on the above noted property, providing that all conditions and requirements are met as included with the letter from Municipal Relations, and the Reeve and CAO be authorized to sign the variance order. So, Councillor Neely and Councillor Blosha. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That's carried.
So what, we just worded it wrong last time?
We didn't have the variance. We approved the subdivision, but because it's more than 10 acres, they won't accept subdivision approval unless we also vary it to say it can be more than 10. So be it. 7.3 is somewhat for information. This was sent over by the Municipality of Mountain. For those of us that were at the G4 meeting, is this not the wrong resolution? We all believe this is the wrong resolution that they've passed. Because we think that that's $34,000 was supposed to end up with Health Facilities Foundation, but they've worded this as Community Foundation, and I think they're confused.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not what it is.
I think you're right there, they got this fixed up.
So we'll bounce that back to them and remind them that that's perhaps the wrong wording. 7.4, the airport budget. Copy of the airport budget is attached along with the actual expenditures for 2022 and 2023. So the airport is proposing for this year similar expenses, but I believe the actual, what we spend is slightly different.
It's an increase.
Yeah, so an increase of just about 5,000. Councillor Neely is going to tell us all about it.
Well, I have gone through this thing 4 times. I'm trying to figure it out. It's like you said, the budget's the same, but the municipal portion is a little higher, exactly 10.92%. The biggest thing in our budget for next year is the runway repairs. It's could be around 50,000. They weren't sure how much it's going to cost. We have to get somebody to assess it first. So Don was going to get a. By the way, Don is the new chairman. He got voted in the other night since Stewart resigned from Manitoba, and he's going to get a hold of Clint Fothergill up in the paw. He's at the airport there to see who we can get to give us some kind of a idea how much repair is needed. There's so much more traffic there now with the air ambulance coming in and out, and there's more spray planes now than there's ever been. And I guess at one time the federal government used to maintain the runways and stuff like that, but those things don't happen anymore. So it's up to us to look after that runway. It could cost millions of dollars if we had to replace it. So anyways, that's 10.92% increase for all municipalities. And while I'm at it, we pay roughly 39.72%, the town is 27%, RM of Manitoba is 25%, and Mountain is 8%. So we pay about 40% because of our assessment being so high. It's all an assessment. And I don't know, I've looked at this and I'm looking at it, it's the same, and I'm looking at all, I figured out all the different, I'm still all kerfuddled.
I think all you did was you transferred from private income to hangar rentals and stuff. That's gone down. So you're just
Yeah, but see, then there
publicly
was, we were gonna take money from accumulated surplus for the card lock system they're putting in a year ago, but it hasn't got done yet because The contractor that's supposed to do it is sick or something, he couldn't come, and it's been dragging on. They did get the electrical done, the original electrician come to do it and looked at it and said something about, oh, he needs all this, he needs that, he's not gonna do it. So D's Electric did it. It cost around $12,000 or $13,000. So all the electrical part is done. The tank installation and all that stuff has to be done yet. What they feel is they will attract more people to our airport if they have a card lock system. We'll eliminate the call-out fees on here for the town people that have to go up there and give these guys fuel and stuff all the time too. So there's 60,000 left budgeted for this year to complete that project. So you gotta take that into consideration along with the airport runway improvements, and then take all the parts that are smaller than last year, and it gets a little confusing to me. I was gonna talk to Terry Ganita after the meeting, but I looked around, he was gone already. Man, he don't fool around, he's out of there. But, yeah, so. I didn't mean to interrupt, I just thought I might as well do it now as later. On the agenda.
So that will flow into our 2025 budget, obviously, but it's here for information. 7.5, the first aid course. So there's a little discussion here about first aid. I believe the CAO has the details on it.
We're just wondering, well, we've spoken earlier about getting first aid, which we've had Mr. Lyons do it for us before, for the whole group, for the public works to get their first aid. I was told he had some health issues, so I don't know if he's doing this course. I have to kind of reach out and see if he was still doing that. Chelsea has another avenue that she knows someone who can, she asked if she could have hers done right away, and she has a class that she could kind of get for herself. I wondered if that would be appropriate for her to go on her own and get her first aid, and the Public Works would all maybe get this other bigger class together.
Is she looking at getting her, like, to enable her to teach the first aid, or?
Not to teach,
Oh,
We just need someone in the office to have it too.
but yeah.
well, we did that here since the last election, because, what's the girl's name that worked in the office?
Deborah?
Yeah, she was organizing that, and the staff all came, and
Yeah,
a bunch of
but
people got first aid.
They all need to be redone.
Recertified.
They
Recertified.
expire.
They gotta be recertified.
It used to be every 3 years,
Yeah.
it's less now, is it?
It's been almost,
For some of the public works, they haven't had it. Some of the newer
Yeah.
ones is the problem.
yeah.
So I know they had it here.
Yeah,
I
they
think
did.
Tom came and did it. Tom Lyons, if I remember right, I'm not positive. Anyways. Well, somebody should have it, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll make it so.
okay.
7.6, subdivision fire hall, Benito. This is the one we've been waiting for a while.
All right.
Whereas the owner of Northwest Quarter 1734 29 West has made applications to subdivide a 2.023 hectare parcel, and requires approval from the Municipality of Swan Valley West as per community planning. And whereas the Council of the Municipality of Swan Valley West has reviewed said application along with a letter received from Municipal Relations dated November 27, 2024, and have noted that taxes on the property to be divided have been paid, and further that the municipality has no objection to the aforementioned subdivision. Therefore be it resolved that we do hereby approve the subdivision of the above noted property, provided that all conditions and requirements are met as included in the letter from Municipal Relations. Is there someone to move the resolution?
Bonito.
Councillor Kushniryk, and someone to second the resolution. Councillor McGregor. A copy of the information is attached. Pretty little map we've seen before, seeing how this is our own file that's finally going through. Now you'll note, of course, that the names on here aren't Swan Valley West yet, because the land purchase can't be completed until the subdivision is completed, so we only buy the little piece. Councillor Neely, you look like you.
Well, you think I'm gonna ask you a question?
I think so.
I think you don't know how to turn your thing, is what I think.
No, I can't. Just
You
a
can
minute
use
here,
the-
I'll
there's
be
a
right
little-
with you.
There's a little button that has an arrow,
Well,
like, goes
I
like
had
this.
people try it here before and it wouldn't work. Anyways, I need exercise in
Looks like a
it. But
confused owl.
they won't let us put an approach on the highway, right?
So that debate is ongoing.
1930, is it 1932 that road, or?
So we did pull out the map from the 1960s. Plan number 1932 does indicate a public road in a different portion of the municipality. That particular parcel of 1932 plan is a water pipeline. Discussions are ongoing between infrastructure, transportation, the surveyor, and me as we discuss the finer points of building a road on top of a water pipeline. Some people think we should. Others think if we have to fix the pipeline, that would be pretty dumb.
Well, you're gonna drive the frost down too.
Yes. So they point out that we've allowed someone to build on top of the pipeline already, which we have, because we never want to stop them. So discussions are ongoing.
Is that burned place?
The other neighbor as well. There's a parking lot that's been extended across the pipeline onto property they don't own.
Wyvern?
The service center.
Oh,
Its parking lot has now gone onto the pipeline plus onto our own land further on. Which,
so this road that was proposed, where's that gonna be exactly?
so you think you have the black and white drawing?
Yeah, no, ours is color.
Oh, no, he's got the black and white up. So you see the little L shape, upside down L, that's the
Yeah.
lot
Right
for the
here?
fire hall, yep.
That's
And
the
see
lot, right?
yep, and that other little line going along there that has the 1932 in it, that part,
They're right in here?
yeah, that's what they're saying is a road.
They were saying right here.
Oh, this is a pipeline that goes here and then comes,
Yeah, that's the,
oh, so,
It'll be
okay.
just north of Ernst.
yeah. So, we will continue that discussion, but the subdivision will get done. And then we'll discuss the finer
Okay.
points. They're wishing us to connect that piece as a road to the highway and then have the lane come onto the road. Of course, you wouldn't see it, right? It'd just be, it's whether it comes in here or comes in here. So we'll sort that out.
Just that there will not be a new approach on the highway, so what approach are we gonna use?
Well, there will be a new approach on the highway.
Oh,
But it will be a road, not an approach. I know, it doesn't seem to,
See if they're overlaid right here,
it'll be north of Burns Place.
yes.
if that's
Because
accurate. what you
they
put.
claim that's a road. I've never seen a 50-foot wide road before, but they say they're gonna be one.
Which who wants to say anything? Who cares?
As long as we can get to the highway.
We're gonna get to the highway. Those big red fire trucks are gonna go somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, thank God we can get this thing going.
I was out last night and met with the fire folks for a while. We were looking at some plans for this lot and how to position the building and such, so I've asked them to have like their suggestions in fairly soon so that we can start doing the process of looking for engineering and tendering. With an eye to doing this next year. Any further discussion? Okay, then we'll call the question. Those in favor? That's carried. 7.7, Animal Control Report. Be it resolved, the Animal Control Report for the month of November be received and approved for payment.
You should read it because I had a good laugh over it.
It was so
Okay,
small.
I'll read it. We gotta
It
move
was
the
so
second.
small, I didn't even read it.
Okay, who's moving it?
I'll move it.
Alright, who's seconding it?
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Okay, now I'll go read it, because
You
if I
should
get the
read it.
giggles, I'll be okay.
I didn't next door neighbor.
Read it.
Alright, so the animal control officer received a call about an injured fox that had moved into a doghouse at a residence. Their dog did not appreciate the new roommate, referred the caller to the Department of Natural Resources and provided them with a phone number to call.
No charge.
No, right, so stay with your fox. Alright, any further discussion?
Okay.
Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor?
Everybody. All together.
7.8, this is here for information, so we've got some signs we're planning on purchasing. It was a little more than some of the sign orders, so we just wanted to run it through council and say, hey, look, we're buying some signs, and see if there's any concerns with it.
We got any road closed signs?
Well,
There's in the list.
ironically enough, we're purchasing 4 road closed signs.
And they're not cheap.
They are 12, isn't it?
No, 4 right here.
That's
Oh, yeah,
line
so it
4.
is 12,
Line
yeah.
4, 12.
Yeah,
Oh,
line
12 of them, yeah.
signs, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Enough said.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
All right, 7-9. Whereas Deborah Love has given her resignation as administrative assistant effective December 31st, 2024. Therefore, be it resolved, the members of the council of the Municipality of Swan West do hereby acknowledge receipt of Deborah Love's resignation with regrets, and be it further resolved, Deborah Love be retained as a municipal consultant as required. Is there someone to move the resolution? I see Councillor Burick and Councillor Neely. Copy of her resignation is attached. She had some nice things to say about you all. So you can take that and be like, oh, she enjoyed working with us.
It was a very nice retirement, wasn't it?
Yes.
We enjoyed having her.
Yeah, very good.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That's carried. Moving to correspondence. 8.1 is a note of Canada Post disruption and how we can get mail to and from the department. 8.2 is much more interesting. It's a bulletin from Municipal and Northern Relations indicating a change in assessment classifications of short-term rental properties. The Coles Notes version is that starting in 2025, the department will implement a policy that anything being rented out as an Airbnb or similar will be changing from residential to commercial classification for taxation, meaning its portioning changes from 45% to 65%, which is in line with what hotels pay. That work will be done during 2025 with the intention that the change takes effect January 1st, 2026. So any Airbnbs in the municipality will see their tax rates increase by about 50% more than they pay now as they become commercial, which arguably they probably are commercial. I imagine we'll hear a lot about that as the Airbnb folks find out about it.
Nothing's what, about 8 of them around here?
Oh, more
More
than
than
that.
that, I think. I know
I didn't even know we had any until my hunters told me. They found them on the internet.
Yeah.
They booked them from Kansas.
Start.
I didn't even know we had any.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and multiple.
They really like them too. Like 4 guys can go in a house, got everything there.
We'll move to number 9, committee reports. Let's start with Councillor Kushniryk.
Well, nothing since I didn't bother to show up last meeting. It's been a short spell.
Tell us about things before that as well.
Yeah,
How was
yeah.
AMM?
I had a break from you. It was great.
No harassment?
What?
I'm so loved. Nothing else?
Probably nothing that's really being discussed, I don't think.
All
I
right.
watched the meeting last time. It's all.
Councillor Blosha.
I have no committee reports, thank you.
Councillor Burick, anyone pregnant you want to tell us about?
Yeah.
What's new in Ward 6?
It all happens in Ward 6. Yeah. Anyways, no, I had no committee report, but Councillor Neely called me the night before the airport commission meeting and I couldn't make it, too short notice, but I didn't get a text or no email from, I don't get it.
Okay, because we have Councillor Blosha's got something.
Yeah, no
involved,
notification
I
at all.
think Councillor Zbirun's having issues with it too,
But
so I'll
he-
chase that down.
Yeah, but he called me, like I say, the night before, and like I say, I had plans that.
Well, I just found it.
Yeah, I know, I couldn't do it, but, I have no other committee reports, but communications, I mentioned last meeting that we should do a newsletter. Like, I mean, we can't put it in the mail yet, because it's not operating yet, but, maybe put something together. Like, give you the authority, you did very well last time. Put something together, you and Kristi, something about, 2024 recap and, vision for the 2025. There's a lot of news we're coming up for 2025, so let the people know what to expect. Like you bought stuff back from the convention that you announced last meeting, and some new things like the bridges they're proposing to do. Like, yeah, like what you did last time was very good. So if you could do that again, that'd be very nice. And like I say, once the mail opens up, then it can go. Might not be in time for Christmas, but probably in the new year. In the new year. So yeah, other than that, that's it. Oh, I wanted to say something. We're talking about lights. We sent that resolution in for highways for about the light on 49 and.
We haven't quite mailed it to them, but it's.
Oh, no, you haven't mailed, no,
Yeah.
you put it in the mailbox, but that's as far as it went. But I just wanted to say, we went to Regina on the weekend. I went past, was it Good Spirit Lake?
Yes?
on 49, no, number 9, number 9 highway. There, at that junction, there's 8 streetlights and 2 other ones. There's a total of 10 streetlights on that corner.
It's going into park though.
I know, but it's not open all winter. Or is it? I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
there's
open all winter.
cabins there all
Cabins all
winter.
winter, but I mean, it's, you hear, we came back at night and came from Madge Lake, you hit junction 83, it's totally black. There's nothing, not even one light. Why is it? Saskatchewan's well lit, but when you come to Manitoba, nothing.
You should probably do some oil prospecting.
I don't know,
The
but,
more oil, the
Or
more
build a
potash,
bunch.
we'd have some money to have some lights.
but, like I say, I hope this one goes through for junction 49 anyways. And then like, if that comes through, at least we can do 279, that corner, maybe Pioneer, like it's just, the initial cost, even if we had to pay the initial cost of the pole that's there forever, right? Just pay the power. But I mean, why it hasn't been done over the years, I don't, and like I said, the junction 49 and 9, there was 5 streetlights on that corner with a red flashing light on the stop sign. And you come to number 83 and 49, nothing, just a
Even
stop
if we
sign.
had that here, that would be.
There's nothing at
That
this-
would be a big help.
Yeah, totally black when you're coming from Roblin. But anyways, that's all I have to say. Yeah, once the mail gets going.
Councillor Zbirun.
No committee reports.
Councillor Neely.
Just the airport commission meeting on Wednesday night last week. Like I said, Don Bobick is the new chairperson. The new appointee for our Manitoba Bozeman is Bozeman Ken Reeder. There happens to be, Terry Ganita was telling us, some gentleman came into the office, wanted to pay the rental for a hangar for somebody. Well, that guy's not even on the list, so he didn't know what to do. Unauthorized airplane in the hangar, so I don't know what they're doing with that, but anyway. Some come to pay the bill, he's not even supposed to be there.
Well, he's trying to pay his way.
Councillor McGregor.
Nothing to report.
So it's only been a week, so my report will unfortunately be shorter than you might otherwise anticipate.
Well, just a little bit short.
Shorter.
Probably not
Not too much, we sort of enjoy it.
Little cheat sheet out here. So the last few days, I've been putting a little bit of time into the idea of public roads being public roads. Some of that discussion will have to occur in camera, but I've been working in conjunction with Public Works to ensure that our roads are accessible to the public, so we've taken action a couple times to make that happen. I met with Benito Fire last night, which I mentioned a little earlier. Besides the fire hall, we discussed a little bit of fire stuff, nothing particularly important. They didn't know I was coming, they just happened to be there, and I happened to be there too, so it was a good time to sit down and talk. I was coming from the water plant, because after midnight I've been a little nervous, so I'm going home at night. I tend to just walk through the water plant and make sure everything looks good, just to make sure things are going well. We're planning to take our plant operator and our CA out there one afternoon fairly soon before Christmas and spend a couple of hours and just run them through the plant again and look at everything, so we have kind of a shared language of what's going on out there, and see if we can't help out with some of that training a little bit to get it working even better. On Friday, I spent an hour and a half with a lawyer that's been hired by our insurance company to deal with the statement of claim, which was issued against the municipality by Mr. Webb. So we did an interview there for quite some time, looked at all the details. I can advise that forthwith a statement of defense will be filed on behalf of the municipality to the claim, denying the claim in its entirety. So the proofreading is ongoing today, it'll be filed yet this week. There will be a lot more to that if it proceeds on. But the statement of defense speaks in general terms about some of the prior issues that occurred during that time frame. I would assume the media will probably have a field day with it if they pull a copy. That brings us back, well, except for medical recruitment. How do we say that nicely in public? Drama. So the medical recruitment committee did meet with a prospective doctor that's looking at perhaps coming to the area. Drama broke out before the meeting, drama broke out during the meeting. A lot of drama broke out after the meeting medical recruitment will be having a committee meeting tomorrow at 6 p.m. where that drama will be discussed extensively and hopefully resolved. Medical recruitment these days does allow 2 people from each municipality. So far as yet, we've only been sending me. Is there anybody else that wishes to be in the middle of that drama and go with?
I'd like to.
Want to come at 6 p.m. tomorrow and have
I can't
Go?
tomorrow, but I'd like to be going forward. I would like to go. Unless anybody else has to.
No.
anybody else
But
that's
maybe,
interested?
maybe
No.
sitting on the health foundation, I shouldn't, I don't know.
Well, no, I think it would be fine. I don't see any reason why not. So if you can't make it tomorrow, you're gonna really miss the fun part.
I know.
But we'll try and keep you apprised of those meetings and
Where are you meeting tomorrow this week?
we're meeting town office at 6. So we have to
I'm
redo
gonna-
our committee
I'm gonna
listings
try.
here next meeting anyway, so we'll pop you on.
If,
then officially.
unless anybody else wants it really badly,
You'll discuss it more in camera?
Sure.
Okay.
yeah.
I give you like the 20-minute version in camera. Oh, it's good. It's really good. Poor Jeremy. He's gonna, so sad he can't get that part. It'll probably come out eventually. Next meeting, presumably it's our next regular meeting in January, we do have to go through our committee appointments. So if everyone's happy where they are, that's great. If you want changes to that, think about that. We'll sort that out next time around, but we'll go through that list. And if we want to do any swapping, any changing, that's a great time to do it. We will discuss in camera the letter from Watershed because our meeting probably won't be in time to answer that question, but that question should be answered tonight.
Yeah.
So we don't have more hurt feelings than we have already with Watershed. I believe that is everything I can report tonight. Questions for anybody, comments, discussion before we move on?
It was short.
I think we should just have a round of applause for that.
Well, you weren't here last week,
You missed last week.
so never mind.
The Reeve gave us a full report last meeting.
We're just-
Then we had to repeat it after.
Yeah, then Brian didn't hear it the first time, so we repeated it.
All right, thank you all. We will be taking a 10-minute recess to check the weather. Those of you that check the weather, please stay outside for the full 10 minutes and enjoy the night.
Minus 22 right now, so.
When we reconvene, we'll be going in camera. A couple things, we do have the road closure map listed in camera tonight, and really there's only a couple little details that qualify for in camera, so we may end up discussing some of that on camera, but it's basically a continuation of what we did last week. We're looking at some more of those maps, and we're gonna fight out some of the finer points of who gets their road plowed and who doesn't, if there's 2 roads that go to the same place. We will discuss that lawsuit more in depth in legal matters. We have a couple of HR things, and we've got a road to talk about. But I'm hoping in camera will be short tonight, so we'll see where that goes. We are in recess. Meredith, you have yourself a great evening. Coming out of recess, we go to 10.1 in camera. Be it resolved that pursuant to Section 1523 of the Municipal Act, Council shall meet as a committee of the whole to close the meeting and continue discussions in camera regarding personnel matters, negotiations, preliminary discussions, unresolved legal matters, investigation or enforcement of act or bylaw, security of armed documents or property. Is there someone to move the resolution? I see Councillor Neely. Did I see you in there as well, Councillor McGregor? There you are. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That is carried. We'll move to 10.3, resolutions arising from in-camera discussions. I don't believe we had any resolutions to bring tonight. 10.4 we added to the agenda while we were in camera. It's the Durbin Hall. So we've talked about this a couple times. This is the quote that was received for supply and replacement of the doors and the windows. So we talked about going ahead with the window. We wanted to know more about the doors. So we've done a bunch of querying to it. The door people tell us it's a very old door that's quite loose, does not secure, and it's not got the proper hardware on it for push bars, for emergency exits and such that it should have. So they suggest that you could try to repair the old one, but that you'd likely spend close to the same by the time you put all the hardware into it, because the hardware is a lot of the cost. So their suggestion is that the door should be replaced, which is $5,400 plus $200 plus $1,200
For the window.
It's for the doors. The window's separate. Yeah. So the total thing for the window and the doors would be $93.28. thoughts? Councillor Blosha.
Well, we just gave $7,500 to the Bozeman, Bozeman Rinks, so I think we should fix the door. That's all I got.
And next year.
That did not take you long.
It could be found, there's similar locations where we found the money for Bozeman. We could find the money for the Durbin Hall. It would be available from there if we wanted.
And you know that, like, we talked about kind of why we gave that extra donation to Bozeman, because they have that group of people working hard to keep that place going, which is nice to see. And you know what? The Durbin Hall is exactly like that. They got a group of people that they work hard.
I know, they're dedicated.
They're dedicated, yeah. So, I don't know, that's just my thoughts on it. We have to fix it. At least we asked the question, like, why do we gotta put a new door on when?
You sort of hate or something like that to end up like the Kendall Hall, you know?
Well, exactly, and they upkeep it in Durbin.
What do we got? We got the big Woody Hall and the Durban Hall.
Well, and really, what do we have left in Durbin but the post office and the hall? We gotta
The
keep
post office
something.
may as well not be there right now.
Yeah, let's not say that, we like the post office there. But, I don't know, just my thoughts.
I don't have any objection.
I'd say fix it.
Be resolved to approve the replacement of both the entry door and broken window at the Durbin Hall. Is there someone to move the resolution? Councillor Blosha. Someone to second it?
Not larger.
Councillor McGregor.
Well, that's
pretty cool. It's pretty close draw.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. Those in favor? That's carried. Quick note on the Bozeman thing, seeing how it came up. So I spoke to Mr. Hofford after our meeting and told him of our decision. He was very thankful. He had hoped to get us a thank you letter for tonight, but he didn't quite get it done. But then I was contacted by the Bozeman Lions Club, who was considering donating towards the hot water project there, but didn't want to have them double dip, as the Lions said, and receive funding for the same project twice. So Mr. Hofford's initial view was that he would turn the Lions down, and I said, whoa, let's not be silly or hasty. Take the money you can get. We have no problem if our money goes to the insulation or the whatever. If the Lions are willing to give you money for the hot water tank, take their $500 or whatever they have and put it towards the hot water tank and move that $500 of ours over to something else, so you don't walk away on the funding. So that's what I told them to do, and that's what they were going to work on. So I didn't want to see them give up funding just
So you and him were talking pretty good, no?
Oh,
Wasn't there some kind of stuff on Facebook or something?
Oh, that was,
You said
was
Ward
him.
6 should move to Minnetonka, both of them.
Brian
No,
used to
that's
work
good,
for me
Bobby.
once upon a time.
That's good.
We used to do computer work for here at one time, didn't you, with the
Yeah.
Armas one or one of us? One of us.
For a little while,
Something didn't
yeah.
work out, something didn't work out, yeah, let him go.
Many years ago.
But, does he have his meeting the 17th of this month at Minnetonka's Bowl? So they
Yes.
might be giving them something too.
I did speak to some of their council about it. The part of their council that speaks to me, I spoke to.
Is there one? Is it?
One of them?
Is it one?
There's a couple.
They're coming and going there like a revolving door.
They are. So I encouraged them that they really should do something. I know some of them were watching our meeting from last time just to see the reasons of why we did it and such, so they could get their mind around what they should be doing as well. So hopefully it all works out for them. So we'll see. Anything else on this, the last meeting of the year?
Anything, partner?
Well, I do, but
Well, let's have it,
The night is young. We've got
everybody's gonna
time.
crucify me.
Byron, we don't wanna bring this into the new year, let's end it this year.
Well,
10:05. Byron speaks.
Merry Christmas. I think we should extend the olive branch, and we're paying $7,500 here, $5,000 here, $10,000 may go to legal fees. Why don't we take care of our own men? Pay their benefits.
We should not discuss that in open. We can go back in camera. Want to go back in camera and discuss? Let me get a resolution. Take me just a few moments. Sorry, but what I just messed up. We'll fix that later. I think I moved something somewhere. I should have moved it on the agenda. But we'll find it back and put back in spot later.
Let's adjourn this meeting.
Well, that's what I moved. Carrie usually meets me now.
I'm the last person who needs it, but this is gonna call for another donut.
I see nothing wrong with that.
Drying out, sitting there.
Be resolved that pursuant to section 1523, the Municipality Council's meetings of committee of the whole to close the meeting and continue discussions in camera regarding negotiations and preliminary discussions. Is there a mover? Councillor Kushniryk, and I see Councillor Zbirun. Those in favor? That's carried. We will move now to number 11. Be it resolved, this meeting shall now adjourn at, believe it or not, I had a different time in here before.
Sorry, guys.
It's now 9:53.
I want to stay here till midnight.
Next meeting is Tuesday, January, what's the date for the January? 9th. 2024 at 7 p.m. Moved by Councillor Neely. Second by Councillor Blosha.
Come on, girl. I mean, come on, lady.
I don't care, you can call me.
Well, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Folks,
Yeah,
that's actually
right back at you.
the 14th
Yeah.
is the meeting, not the 9th, the 14th.
14th?
14th, second Tuesday.
How come I have the 9th in my brain?
The 9th is a
Maybe I'm thinking
Thursday.
it's late.
Because there is no Tuesday on the first week of.
Those in favor? That's
Merry
carried.
Christmas, everybody.
Well, the
and Happy
14th it
New
is.
Year.